All right, welcome back to the Brutally Honest Loan Officers Podcast. I am Derick Brown, and my partner here is Stephen Brock. Say hi, Stephen.
Hey everybody, super excited for this next episode. I think this is going to be a really good one for almost everybody, not just somebody looking at getting mortgages, but anybody out there.
Well, before we get started, how was your weekend, man?
It was good. I did some landscaping,
Nice.
some mulching, did a little bit of mulching.
Did you
Uh,
have did you have nice weather this weekend?
yeah, yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
I think it rained, it stormed somewhere down here, but not where we were at. I think it got like a
gotcha.
sprinkle.
We had a pretty crazy storm like yesterday morning. Like thunder, like crazy, lots of rain. Um, but other than that, we had pretty decent weather. Last Friday, um, we went to Universal Studios. So now that we're Disney pass holders, apparently we're trying to
Oh,
do something on the regular.
uh-oh, Universal now. I tried to get you to go that one time, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is super expensive.
Yeah, well, we didn't have tickets. And so it's gonna be like $500. And I'm all about like having fun and stuff. That just seems expensive for one day. Not to mention I'd have to buy Audrey something and eat. So although I didn't know that you can take food.
You
Like
guys,
we
yeah.
pack lunches now.
Yeah. Yep. You'd be good with that.
So, but then yesterday I had the great idea of trying to clean off our pool patio. So like Dawn dish soap and a big scrub brush and stuff like that. Thinking that the kids would like just play on the splash pad area of our pool, and did not go over that well. They wanted to jump in and swim. They wanted me to do it with them, but the pool's too cold. So yeah, I stuck to cleaning the patio, and then we got another big rain and it washed everything away. So that's good, I guess. But
My
good
na-
weekend.
my
Other than
my
that,
neighbors have a heater, and it makes me want a heater until like another month, and I'll be like, I don't want one now.
we have a heater, but there's an error popping up.
Oh,
So I've got to call and figure out what this error is. So
user
I
error.
don't know.
But let's get to this episode.
All right. So today's episode is about networking. So for anybody that doesn't know me or that's listening, um, a pretty large majority of my business from early in my career and even to this day has been generated from networking. So I'm involved in our local realtor association, other realtor networking boards, local chamber of commerce. I'm in a BNI group. And BNI group, that's terrible. We got to edit that out. A BNI
There
group,
you go.
all of which have been extremely beneficial for various reasons, honestly. Not just getting leads and stuff like that. Stephen, are you a part of any of those networking groups?
All of them. Yeah. So I am on our realtor. I always call it the realtor board. Yeah, what they are, like Realtor Association.
Right.
I do sit on a couple of their committees. I've been there for several years, but like I am vice chair of the YPN.
Oh, you fancy.
For I'm fancy for the Realtor Association here. I'm on professional development with them, and then the affiliate committee. I'm in a networking group, kind of like a BNI. It's called Best of the Best. Very similar on that part. The chamber. I started a couple of years ago, right before COVID. Me and a buddy started a veterans group, so kind of just a veterans networking group where we just kind of
Nice.
all hang out, kind of thing. So yeah, very involved in networking. I think it's one of the. If you're not doing it, you're missing out a lot.
Okay. And why do you say that? Like, has one been better than others, or like what benefits are you seeing from networking groups?
Relationships. I mean, especially like going to the realtor board. There's going to be a handful of other mortgage people out there. So almost any networking group you go to, besides like a BMI where they only have one of you, one of
Right.
each career, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, like you only have one mortgage person, one realtor, one whatever of that
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
There's going to be other people that do what you do and do what you do just as good as you do it. A lot of times people are all like, "Oh, we're loan officers. We communicate. We close on time. There's no bait and switch." Well, that's 95% of the mortgage world does that. So what are you?
I bet you it's less.
It probably is. I'm trying to give us what is it, like 60% of loans don't close on time or close happily or something like
Ridiculous.
that. It's really it's horrible. But with that being said, it's just a lot of relationship. Like anytime I go to these groups, it's all relationships. Finding the people that have the same like mind as me, um, that I can actually I what I do is would I hang out with this person besides work? That's
Right.
really that's honestly how I decide it. Do I like them that way?
And do
Um,
you?
most of them, most of them.
Most of them. Good. Okay. Honest answer.
I'm gonna have some people
Because if
talk
you
to
had
me.
said yes, everyone, I would have
No,
said you're a liar.
yeah, not everyone. There's gonna be some people that are gonna listen here and be like, well, he never hangs out with me. Like, oh, well, now you know. No, just kidding. I mean, and then there's some of the loan officers that are there at the Realtor Association that I'm really good friends with. There's two or three of us that are at most of the events and volunteer our time that we are friends. Like we are competitors, but we are friends still with them.
Yeah, I've met with other loan officers from other companies, trying to figure out what they might have that I don't, or what I have that they don't. That way, if it's somebody that I like and I know does a good job, I'd be happy to refer them if I can't do the loan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I agree. I'm friends with other loan officers that I've met from networking.
Yeah. So what about you? What groups do you find beneficial?
They've all been beneficial to some extent. And even, I don't know, like I get to meet with other local small business owners. I think that that's great. I want to help others grow their business while I'm also trying to grow mine. So being able to support other local small businesses has been great. I've been able to do that a lot through the chamber and my BNI group. And then obviously we're loan officers, so we get a lot of our deals from realtors. So being a part of realtor groups has been beneficial. I like our Realtor Association that I'm a part of because they put on education classes and stuff like that. But just throughout all of that, I've met some awesome people that I can also refer to, but it also makes me look like a standout professional when my past clients reach out to me after they bought the house. Hey, Derick, do you know a roofer? Hey, Derick, do you know a financial advisor? Hey, Derick, do you know a CPA? And my answer is always yes. Like I have all these people that I can refer to that I've either used or I know like friends, family, coworkers, or whatever that have used, so being able to confidently refer them and know they're getting taken care of is awesome. And it just makes my clients think that like Derick knows everybody, which I don't know everybody, but for, a lot of what you might need, I know somebody. So that just,
You got to be a connector. I think the bottom
correct.
line, you have to be a connector. And me and you are both coaches. We tell our students that you got to be. That's what they have to do. I tell realtors all the time: be the source. Even if you don't know, you're not the expert on it, but you know who is. That's what you need.
Right. And it also beats cold calling. Cold calling sucks. So if we're supposed to be meeting with realtors and other referral partners, so you're telling me I can go to a meeting and meet them face to face and do it that way. And then when I call them as a follow-up, it's a follow-up call. It's not a cold call. They know who I am. That's so much easier.
Yeah.
I think one of the benefits too is realizing what doesn't work sometimes. Because like my life has also changed, which led to like me changing on certain things of like how I'm trying to get business and stuff like that. My opinions of certain groups changed. So like I was all into networking in any way, shape, or form, and that included like happy hours and stuff like that. But until Audrey was born, because then I had a baby at home. So staying out, networking at happy hours and stuff like that, drinking, and I just wanted to stop doing that. And there's a couple groups that's a lot of what they do. There's not much more than that.
Mhm.
So then I turned my focus away from those groups because I wanted to be home with my family. And I don't think there's anything, wrong with what they're doing or with what I wanted to do. It's just, different life stages. And then I mean, you and I track everything where we get our business from. I had, given a significant amount of time and some money with one group. And then once I started tracking everything, I realized I'm not really getting a whole lot of like leads or referrals or whatever you want to call it back from that group. And that's when I realized like they're super clicky. They have like the people that they use, and trying to break into that is difficult. so I can take that time and money and go elsewhere and have it be more beneficial. But I would have never known had I not tried or, tracked everything. So, which I think is beneficial to figure that out early on. So I'm not
Exactly.
spending years wasting time.
I feel like one of my networking groups when I first got there, rates were decent still. And I think I got to stay there for like 6 years before I'm negative on money. But it's still a
Right.
time thing. Like I still get stuff from there because of rates. But I think some of these groups are good, especially like ones that you have to give a minute or two pitch. You have to give your 10, 15 minutes, presentation are great. It makes you talk in front of people. That's one of the best things. And then like with my networking group, the best of the best, I like to go in there and talk about. I'm not a big proponent of going to the realtor board and talk about loan programs because we all have the same loan programs. There might be one or two that we don't, that each other that we can go
Right.
back and forth. But it's like it's just beating a dead horse kind of thing. But I like going to the best of the best and talking about it because then I see from the consumer standpoint what actually clicks with them when I talk about certain
Right.
and what actually interests them on it. And then, they'll have me come and present, on a class about it kind of thing or a presentation. And then, I mean, that gets you a lot of people that go to these networking things don't ever do presentations or never stand up in front of people and talk about it. And when you get into these networking groups where you're required to do it, it forces you to do it.
Right.
And I think everybody should
Yeah.
have to do that at one point.
I got into a BNI group pretty early in my career. I think I was lucky. But it was a game changer for me because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like being forced to talk about your business, and so then like every single week you stand up and you give either, now we're down to 45 seconds. So we've got 45 seconds to, do an elevator pitch type of thing. And there's times where I'll talk about loan products or, a deal we saved, stuff like that. But I mean, early on, I didn't know what to say. So trying to figure out like, what do I say to all these people? And then I realized like because our chapter is actually pretty big now. We're up to 64 members, I think.
Wow.
So I've got 63 salespeople that if I can like teach them and coach them and, have them look out for things that I'm looking for, then, I've got a sales team out there and it costs me like $1,000 a year. There's no better like marketing expense than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it also like, again, like you said, they're all consumers too. So I mean, this past year, several of them bought houses and used me. So trying to figure out what the consumer wants to hear, what they might be interested in. That also helps me then relay it to realtor partners or financial advisors, CPAs that I work with. And I mean, I've done so much back and forth with some of our homeowners insurance agents that I've met through networking, to try and figure out exactly what's going on in Florida, what can we expect, and I got the heads up that Farmers was going to stop writing policies in Florida. So then I knew anybody that I had recently like closed that got a Farmer's policy, be on the lookout for either a non-renewal or whatever they might be doing, and so that was just helpful too. But again, I wouldn't have known that had I not been networking with some of my agents. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I liked how you said they go out there and they're your salespeople. Like we do a lot of social media. So when I post stuff, like a lot of them share it or, will like message me on it and ask more details or the next meeting that, like you said, those are my other channels. They're putting it out to their network. All the time I
Correct.
get messages from them like, hey, can you send me that video that you just did? Or hey, can you make a video on what you were just talking about so I can send it to X, Y, and Z kind of person.
Dude, when we went through that refi boom, there were times where over 50% of my pipeline was from BNI or chamber.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, it was crazy. So I mean, in terms of, because almost every single one of these groups costs money to an extent. But you really get what you put in too. So yes, you almost have to pay to be there.
You have to
But
pay to get in. You do definitely have to pay to get in, but you have to also what I don't want people to think like, okay, they go to networking events and that's it.
pass out business cards and then leave expecting to get
No,
like their phone ringing.
that doesn't work that way. You definitely have to, do that, meet people. I usually try to, if I go to a networking event that I'm there's a lot of people I don't know there. You know, there's a couple that now I'm like, okay, I know most people here, but I always try to hand out. I don't try to hand out. I try to trade 5 business cards. What I say.
Right.
Find 5 other people there, and then once I have those 5 cards, is I'm trying to book one-on-ones with it. That's where the money is made. Is booking the one-on-ones, knowing the person, like we said, building that relationship with the person, going to a networking event, BNI chamber, whatever, and passing out business cards and saying, "Hey, here I am." Nobody's calling you on it unless they want to do one-on-ones. But like, you know, nobody's really. You have to meet all. Like I've done one-on-ones with everybody in my group. With it, anytime I go to the realtor events, I'm trying to do one-on-ones with even people that were like the staff at the realtor boards. That you know, they're not the realtor. They're not going to be my source, but now they're the ones. They're my connectors.
Right.
They're introducing me to other people. So it's not always just the people that who are going to give you direct business, but people that can connect you with other people.
Yeah, agreed. No, that's awesome, man. I think it's crazy that we both are in almost the same types of networking groups.
Yeah.
BNI, Chamber, Realtor Association. I don't know. There's got to be, we can't be wrong here.
The
I
networking
wonder,
beast. You guys have networking beast up by you too now.
this Thursday I'm going.
Yes. You're gonna get a
Are
picture.
you should make the trip. You should
I'm
make
not
the
make,
trip.
I am gonna be in Disney the next day.
On Friday, you're going to Disney?
Yeah, that would be funny. If I was going to Disney on Thursday, I would stop by just to say hi to you. But
Next time.
no.
Next time. We've got to plan like a Disney trip. That sounds oh
Yeah.
man. I never thought I would say that. For years. I had been putting off the Disney tickets. And then now we're pass holders.
You'll never get rid
But
of
do
them.
you have a Mickey Mouse like magnet on your car?
No, they're all in our garage fridge.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's covered because there's 4 of us, so when they get it in, we get 4 of them now all the time.
Gotcha.
And then my kids like to like when they say, "Oh," they'll eventually tell you like, "Oh, pass holders go if you're at this park, go here, and you'll get the special one." Usually Christmas time, I think, is when they do that, or some kind of
I'm
event.
not doing
Yeah,
I'm not doing
my kids like to get them
that.
and put it on the garage fridge, which is just full of beer. So I don't know why they put them on
Yeah. Open the Disney fridge. Beer.
there.
Oh man. All right, buddy. Well, anything else you want to add about networking?
Anybody that's looking to get into it, find them, go to them, make the one-on-ones, talk to people. If you're scared to go with somebody that can go with you. So at least you're looking like you're talking to somebody, and then people will. Every time I go to these networking ones, like there's always people that will come up to you. I mean that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
But the gain, the it's giver's gain. So make sure that you know you're connecting back with other people, and then the one-on-ones, the follow-up, like that is the hugest thing.
No, building relationships.
Yeah.
That should be the goal from networking. Building relationships. And then if you are able to build relationships, you'll be able to learn how to refer people, business. And then in turn, like you said, giver's gain, hopefully it comes back to you. But the ultimate goal is just building those relationships. And that's what's helped, fuel my business.
Yeah. Everybody should be in networking at all times. Oh, that's just today's episode. Networking.
Simple. Nothing crazy.
Easy.
Disney and networking.
Yes. I have a networking event tomorrow night. You're on
All right, man.
Thursday.
Well, I appreciate you jumping on with me like always. To everybody listening, please like, subscribe to our podcast. It's just 2 loan officers having some fun every week. If there's a topic you want to hear from us, let us know. Otherwise, this is the Brutally Honest Loan Officers Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.
Bye.